Coming up on this episode of the Hitstreak.
I'm beating on my lonely drum, girl, don't you want to come over? Literally just
like that.
Just like that.
That's
and then
incredible.
The rest was like, just like Skip was throwing in crazy lyrics, and we literally wrote that song in 45 minutes.
Most people either buy a cheap watch or they think that fine watches just aren't for them. Call sign watches live in a different conversation entirely. These are serious, precision-built American timepieces. But here's the thing. They weren't made for collectors to lock in a display case. They were made to be worn by pilots, by veterans, by the guy whose crew gave him a nickname that never went away. Everyone's got a call sign. And now you've got a watch that proves it. So let me ask you something. What's your call sign? Head on over to mycallsign.com/Hitstreak to find out. Here is how Dr. Aaron Pryor changed my life. I used to hide my smile, covering my mouth in photos, holding back in conversations, even avoiding big moments. I didn't realize how much it was holding me back until I got my brand new veneers at Pryor Family Dentistry. It's not just my teeth. It's my confidence, my energy, my entire life. Visit PryorFamilyDentistry.com to book a consultation. Your life-changing smile awaits. Blessings, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Hitstreak. I'm your man, Nick Hyder. And folks, today, buckle up. We're going for a little ride. Literally, if you're in the car listening with us today, like, this dude is the soundtrack. He's the soundtrack to your road trip today, wherever it is you may be going. Folks, check it out. I'm going to get right into it. He's a double platinum artist. He's had 2 #1 hits, 6 top 10s. He's a CCMA Songwriter of the Year. He's a Juno Award nominee. He co-wrote Luke Bryan's Out Like That, as well as other songs for Cole Swindell and all your favorite artists. He's sold out headline tours across Canada, the United States, and Europe. He's actually born in Alberta, where old Nick played baseball up in Edmonton for a couple years. I love it up there. And his latest EP is called Drink in Hand. It's out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my man, Aaron Goodvin. Aaron, how we doing, baby?
In the house. That was a really good intro. Holy man, I'm blown away. It's a great day. Today is I just found out literally before we sat down that my wife and I just got an offer accepted on a new house.
Let's go.
How amazing is that?
Let's go. Congratulations.
So I've had 6 cups of coffee. I'm so pumped. So excited. It's going to sound like that the whole time.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. It's so great. My wife is so happy. And to add to that, it was Mother's Day on Sunday. And I woke up, I slept in, I didn't make coffee, I didn't say Happy Mother's Day. I forgot that it was Mother's Day, to be honest.
Oh, no.
So this is the ultimate get me out of the doghouse. We bought a new house.
Well, you live to tell about it. That's the most important part.
I'm still here. Somehow I'm still here.
Well, dude, I think buying a house in Nashville is harder than getting the #1 hit these days.
Dude, you know what? I've noticed in the past couple months, I watch real estate pretty closely. It's kind of almost like a habit. I just like it. I like the markets, and I like seeing what they do and all this stuff. And I saw recently that it is coming down. And then I've talked to a few people that are like, now's the time. If you have a house, like my manager has a house in Westmead in Nashville, and the amount that her house is available, or that she can get for her house right now, is so high. I mean, it's $1 million, and that house is literally nothing special. And I told her, I was like, for that house, you're good.
Yeah.
And I think she bought it years ago for $350,000. But she had told me that her realtor was saying, hey, the markets are going to go down. Now's the time to sell. And so I was like, oh, interesting. And then this thing popped up. I don't even know. It was a whirlwind. It popped up. My wife's like, we should go look at that. And I was like, okay. So I scheduled it. Saturday we went and looked, and now here we are. Wednesday, and we have an offer accepted. So it's very exciting.
Congratulations.
I know. I'm so pumped.
That's a big deal, man.
Dude, I can't believe, I can't believe my career has led me to a place that I can even get pre-approved for the amount that I got pre-approved.
That's the hardest thing to do in the line of work you're in.
It's the hardest thing
pre-approved for anything.
Everything is self-employed. All my income has been self-employed for almost 2 decades. So it's just hard to prove that you're going to make money the next year and the next year and the next year. So,
well, man, thanks so much for being here, bro.
Thank you for having me. This is amazing. You guys got it down over here. This is a beautiful place.
I like machines.
Yeah.
I like machines, but it's I've seen you live. It's just like one of your concerts. It's a machine, baby.
That is very machine-like. I feel like the one thing that I've done over my career is my favorite thing is to be on stage, and so that is I have perfected that in a lot of ways, and I love as an audience member when you come to one of our shows, like the best compliment that I could get is like how entertained they were, because it's just clear that I've put the time in, right? It's clear that I know what I'm doing and I love what I'm doing. And that's the best compliment ever. So I'll take it.
Well, check it out, man. Drink in Hand, your latest album, is out right now. Your brand new single, Said No Redneck Ever, is flying up the charts literally right now.
Yeah.
Which it's such a great play on words. Said No Redneck Ever.
Man, not a lot of people know, but like I grew up in Alberta, Canada, and my favorite thing is I wrote this with a guy from Missouri and a guy from Georgia, right? And I'm from Alberta, Canada.
It's like a priest and a rabbi,
right? Exactly. And I wrote it with Brent Baxter and Trey Landon. Trey's another fellow artist. Shout out to him, great artist. And we brought, like, my co-writer Brent brought the title to me and was like, "Hey, I have this really great idea. I don't know like who we should write it with, but at the time Trey was on Warner Brothers Records, and we were like, he's kind of like a Southern dude, like maybe he'll like it." So we pitched it to him. He loved the idea, and so we all got together to write the song. And it was we were about a verse and halfway through the chorus when I was like, one, I realized we're writing a hit song.
Yep.
Two, I think I might be more redneck than the guys I'm in the room with, because the stuff that I'm throwing out there, they're like, "What are you talking about?" You know? And I was like, well, this is how I grew up. Like, my family grew up in northern Alberta where there's nothing else to do but, drink beer and sit around a campfire and, and just party, have a good time with people you love. And so, not only did I realize that, Trey probably wasn't going to cut this song, I was going to cut this song. It just turned out to be such a fun song and such a great song, and it's done really awesome things for us.
Absolutely. Is that so you're going to be performing a song for us today, which is great. Is that the song you're going to be performing?
I don't know.
Oh,
I actually don't know what I'm going to play.
They're going to have to wait and tune in.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
I don't even know if he's taking requests. I will say, obviously, Lonely Drum, a massive hit.
Yeah,
that's I've heard my son play that on drums one time. He's played it at least 1,000 times.
I love that so much. So it's his fault I'm getting all those royalty checks.
That's right.
No, that song is it is literally the epitome of what I think every artist is after. And it's so funny to me because a great song just supersedes all the things. Like, it's just the right song at the right, it's not even the right time. It's like, if you put it out, like, people will find this. Like, people are still finding this song now.
That's right.
And it's like, I mean, I wrote it in 2014.
Wow, dude.
And it has like 30 million streams or something.
Isn't that
like, it's
crazy?
Crazy. And like, it streams like it's a #1 record.
Yep.
And it was never a #1 record.
Really?
Yeah.
I know at your concerts, like, that's the one that the crowd sings louder than you. Yeah.
Well, and it's really funny because, like, in Canada, it's literally like the equivalent of Friends in Low Places. Everybody knows every word. They're jumping up and down as soon as they hear the first chord, like it's all those things. And then it's but in America and around the world, it was never on the radio.
Yeah.
And so, but it was in every single nightclub because it was like, it became this line dance phenomenon. Like, there's like, every day I'll open TikTok and there's some new girl doing the line dance to it on, like, it is truly incredible. Like,
it's so cool.
It's the coolest thing ever. It's so fun. And we're actually going to do a line dance tour.
No kidding.
Yeah, we're going to do a thing called Line Dance Live.
Okay. Tell me about that.
And it's going to be, so my idea was, like, I grew up playing in cover bands, and I'm a people pleaser by nature. So I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to love me all the time.
Absolutely. Come on.
Like, nobody can dislike me, which I know is not healthy. But that's just sort of by nature who I am. So I came up with this idea. I was like, look, we go play all these line dance clubs because of Lonely Drum, right? So we get these gigs. we go out here in America and we play, we play all of my songs like a set like we would do in Canada, where we go play in Canada and we can fill a whole set full of songs that people know.
Yeah.
And we'll sing along to, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But in America, not everybody knows the songs, right? And so my thought was like, why don't we just go out, and since they want to hear Lonely Drum, why don't we start the set with Lonely Drum, end the set with Lonely Drum, and then in between play every line dance song that they know a dance to. So literally just like, it's almost like, in essence, it's like a cover. We're going to do them in our own way.
That's so
But
cool.
we're going to do some covers so that it's designed to not get them off the dance floor.
Let's go.
Because most times we'll go play these clubs and we'll start playing all songs. And if they can't figure out a dance to like do with the song that we're playing, they just go sit down.
Yeah, that's right.
They're
That's
just
right.
like, oh, we'll wait till we have something we know. And I was like, well, that's no fun. We don't want you to sit down. We want you to stay up.
Yeah.
So we'll play Ed Sheeran Shivers and Country Girl Shake It For Me and let them do their dance. So
Dang.
it's going to be
dude,
fun.
They got to love it. They got to love
They're
it.
going to love it. They're going to love it.
Still to this day, my favorite Aaron Goodvin song is "Lucky Stars." Dude, that song just hits,
love that.
bro. It just hits. It's a huge track too.
It's a big record that just didn't happen.
You sing your ass off though.
Since all these people are going to hear about it.
Well, you sing your ass off on that one.
Thank you, dude. So I wrote that song with Skip Black, and that was the first time I wrote with Terry McBride. And the one time in my life where I've been in a writing room, and I write songs every single day, where my favorite thing is like I did not pass English, okay? Well, I think I did, but I don't. To this day, my wife, like, she'll tell you, like, I don't say words properly. I don't say them in the right order.
Says the songwriter of the year.
Says songwriter. I'm not kidding you, and I'm getting to a point here. So when I write, it's like, for me, it's melody. Like for me, it's like, if I'm not sold on the melody, I don't even care what the lyrics are. Like I'm more of a melody. Like I hear them, I write them. That's when I was in those writing rooms early in my career. It was Cole and Adam that were the lyricists. Like I was driving the bus on the guitar and the melody. Like that's just what I like. And so, but for the first time in my life, I got into a room and heard a melody that I didn't write, that I was like, what the F is that? Like I had to like learn how to sing that melody, because Terry McBride was the one who just started, my lucky star. Like he went way up there, and I was like, whoa, what is that? What is that? And so it's pretty awesome. This is the only song I ever wrote with the guy.
Wow, and he's a legend.
He's a legend. Yeah, he wrote he wrote all those Brooks and Dunn hits.
Yep.
All the big ones.
Yep.
My favorite one would probably be Play Something Country.
Oh yeah, heck
That
yeah,
was
man.
a Terry McBride song. He's also from McBride and the Ride.
That's right.
If you want to go way back to the 90s, so yeah.
Whoa. Check this out. Some of the world's biggest success stories started with nothing. Just grit, hustle, and a story worth hearing. If you've got a story that people need to hear, this is your shot. If you've been through the fire and came out stronger, you belong on this show. Email management@nickhyder.com or comment or DM the word Hitstreak to apply. The Hitstreak is where rags to riches stories have been told, and the next one could be yours. There's a lot of guys that people know from, as an artist, but that were massive songwriters. Like I'm talking about your number ones being double platinum artist, but also songwriter of the year, right? So a lot of times when you win those awards as songwriter of the year, it wasn't for a song you released,
Right.
It was for a song somebody else released, and that's pretty. Like that's the ultimate compliment, I think.
100%. I mean, like getting a song recorded to like that memory of me getting my first big cut in this town was on Luke Bryan's "Crash My Party." I've never outdone it. It was such a big record to be on. Like that was such a massive record, and everybody in town wanted to be on that record. There was nothing more, nothing that made me feel so included in this city is getting a cut like that. Because now everybody knows that you got a Luke Bryan cut and you're that guy, and it truly changed my whole life. Like I went from sleeping on my third manager's couch with migraine, wondering what's going on, to Cole calling me and be like, "Hey, Luke just cut out like that," and I was like, "What? Like what?" Migraine was gone.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I was like, "What does that mean?" And then we had to wait. That was like October. We had to wait until like August of the next year to even know. But in that time, because I had that cut, I signed a deal at Warner Chapel. I wrote there for 4 years. I was from Canada, so I was always doing work visa stuff. So that was much easier to get now that I had a job in the U.S. and only I could do that job. So it was a big, for me, it was a big turning point in my career. I say all the time that I was like, I outlasted the 13-year cicada, because that was the year that the 13-year cicadas were out. And I was like, if I make it to the next one, I'm going to be doing okay. And that just happened a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's been pretty great.
Incredible. So, well, there's so much to talk about today. From what you got going on, it's concert season. As we're sitting at today, so I know you're going to be busy. But you got a lot of other stuff going on. So tell me, I want to talk about the 615 Collective and your and For the Record.
Yeah, love to.
Thing you guys got going on. So which one do you want to start with?
So, well, we can start with 615. 615 is among all the other things that I've been a staff songwriter in Nashville forever, and that has got me in rooms writing with a lot of people. And about 8 years ago, I wrote with Nicole Witt, and do you know Nicole Witt?
I know of her. Tell everybody what it means when you're a staff songwriter, because that's that's the ultimate goal. You're not just writing
a staff
songwriter.
It's just a job writing songs for other people. So basically, writing songs for the hit artists that you're just trying to get recorded. My wife is a publisher, so she works with songwriters, and in Nashville, it's just a big part of the community. Is being a staff songwriter is no different than like turning in a book as a writer, as a published writer. So basically, you have a certain amount of songs that you have to turn in every year. Your publishers are going to take those songs and they're going to try and get them recorded on the biggest records in town. So they're going to try and get them on the Luke Bryans and the Carrie Underwoods and all those people. And so, so that I did that I was with Warner Chapel for 4 years, and then I signed a record deal / publishing deal that I was in for. I was in the record deal for 4 years, the publishing for 6 years at Reviver Records. And we put out a song called Bars and Churches that was probably our best effort at Major Market Radio. It's an amazing song. It didn't do what we wanted it to do, but it still touched a lot of people. So I did that for the majority of the time that I've been here, and I've been out of a publishing deal now for a couple of years. But during that time, you meet so many different artists and so many different people that you just love. And I got into a writing room with Nicole Witt, and I was, for lack of a better term, bitching about not having enough shows in the U.S. And she was like, well, and I've literally been with every agent that I've, like in town. Like I feel like I've made my rounds to all the different agencies, and I'd play a couple shows, and then, and then before you know it, you're not playing shows again. And for me, that's if I could play shows all the time, that's what I would do.
That's right.
And so, I was bitching about that. And Nicole said, well, you should join the Collective. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? She's like, well, we have 50 shows this year, and you could play a few of your own songs and then help us sing our songs, and then we could write and we could do all that. And so I've been in that now for 3 years. And so it's me, Nicole Witt, Michael Logan, and Sarah Darling. Sarah's great. She's played the Opry 97 times.
Yep.
It's crazy. But we're all artists in our own right, but now we've been writing music now for 3 years. We're about to go to Major Market Radio, which is a huge deal. June 1st is our ad date, so it's literally coming up here in a couple weeks. That's a song that we all wrote. Super excited. And the band I've never had so much fun in my life.
Is that the song you're playing today?
It could be. I don't know. We'll see. Super excited about that one. And about that group in general. It's just, you need to go follow us. We literally have so much fun. So much fun. And it's four artists that have a tremendous amount of respect for each. It's kind of like the Highwaymen, but we're not Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson.
It's super smart.
Maybe we will be now that we're together. But the idea is it's that whole thing, and it's an amazing way to tour. We have so much fun. And it just got my name out there even more these past 3 years. It's been very helpful. So.
Well, I mentioned, I do want to go back real quick. You mentioned from being from Alberta, which,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't, until I went there the first time, I didn't know what that was. But you know,
What's
here
in Alberta?
I'm playing ball, and I find out that I'm being shipped to Edmonton, Alberta. And
I just love that you. I just love that you were shipped to Edmonton, Alberta.
I was, and
amazing.
Telus Field is what it was,
Dude,
the name back
so my
then.
parents live at Renaissance Place right downtown, and
Okay.
they like outside you can see the field from.
What's the big
right
hotel
outside.
that's attached to the mall downtown? That's where I lived.
You lived in the mall.
And
in
so
the mall
yeah,
downtown.
I remember because it was. There
Oh, the Sheraton was it the
I
Sheraton?
I don't know. I just remember
No,
I could
I
go to the mall and never leave the hotel. Like
Yes.
I could, you know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly which one you're talking about, but I can't remember what that one was.
Because this has
called.
been 06 or 07 when all this was happening. But I do remember, so obviously I was exposed to poutine, which I absolutely fell in love with.
Oh, dude.
Ketchup's better in Canada. I don't know why.
It is.
It's better in Canada, especially the Lay's potato chips.
Ketchup chips. Oh,
Golly.
let's go.
And then
My favorite thing is brown gravy, and you can't get it You can't get gravy like when I go and I tour up there a lot. As you can tell, I eat a lot of. If you're watching on video, I've been eating too much Canadian brown gravy. But we grew up in hockey arenas,
Yeah.
Because Northern Alberta, that's all you had a curling rink and you could not have a place to eat. You would have a rink and a curling rink, a curling rink and a hockey rink, and we would go to the rink and eat, fries and gravy.
Dude.
That was it, and brown arena gravy.
That's right.
That's how I grew up, man, and that's what so anytime I'm home, I'm always like, can I get some gravy on this side?
Oh, dude, it's just different. And I remember there was a McDonald's in the mall. They had a double Big Mac.
Yes.
Life changing, life changing.
Yeah, twice the calories. It's
Dude,
great for
I
you.
think I ate that for lunch every day on the way to the park for probably like 3 or 4 months. Like
Double
it was
Big
like,
Mac.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was blown away with how clean that city was back then. Mm-hmm. Like there wasn't even a cigarette butt on the ground.
Yeah,
Like ever.
Yeah, and Albert, I don't know what it is, but they've I don't know what it's like now. I mean, there's the homelessness in Edmonton right now
Has it gotten bad?
is so bad.
That's-
So
I hate
bad.
that.
Ever since I just think COVID just took a toll everywhere.
Yeah.
and it just put a lot of people in some crazy place. I know with me with COVID, like I found out I was an alcoholic, so
Okay.
so that was that.
Yeah. Well, so we've had Dr. Stephen Lloyd, who the TV show Dope Sick was made after. Michael Keaton played him. He's Troy Sandifer, Justin Lowry, Dr. Aaron Pryor with Smiles for Recovery. Like I did a lot of stuff with them last year and still doing stuff with them, but I learned a lot. I've got 2 family members that are in recovery right now. And I thought it was so cool. I did a deal with Dr. Aaron for some new teeth, and while doing that, I learned about how that's one of their things, that when you take a recovered addict, when they still look like an addict, a lot of times they relapse. But if you put new teeth in their mouth,
God, isn't that something?
they all of a sudden they have something different to live for.
Wow.
And it makes
It's incredible.
They have like a 90 or 95% retention rate on people not having a relapse type thing. So congratulations.
Thank you. The mind is such a powerful thing.
Absolutely. We won't go too deep into this, but like,
Yeah.
it's a dark place until it's not. Mm-hmm. And what I've learned through just learning about recovery is we're all recovering from something, whether it's addicted to sugar, anything that's just not healthy for us that we can't control and that we
now
can't
I
take
just
in moderation.
eat.
Yeah.
I don't have any other vice. I don't drink. I don't. I grew up around alcohol, and the one of the guys that I looked up to most was my cousin Gregory.
Okay.
And still to this day can drink all the beer, 24 pack, whatever. I don't even know how much he drank. He might drink a little less now. He's got like 5 kids or whatever. But for whatever reason, like he could just drink and drink and drink and just never stop and just be the same guy that he was when he wasn't. And I always wanted to drink like that.
Yeah.
Right?
They
And
made
so
it
my
look
whole
cool.
life.
Yeah, they made it look cool.
Yeah, and my whole life I try, and not that it's like, and he's still one of my favorite people on the planet, and always will be. But what I had to realize is like when he puts it in his body and when I put it in my body, that's two separate bodies and two separate things.
That's right.
You can't just like take this and just be that, you know? And I always just sort of was like, I'm gonna live the way I want to live and blah blah blah. And then I just like I met so many circumstances. This last time, I've been sober just over 4 years.
Man, that's great.
And this last 4 years, 1 month and 3 days or something. And this last time, it was just so painfully obvious.
Okay.
That I had a problem. Like I had hit my rock bottom, and there should have been way more times that I used as my rock bottom. I didn't. It got to the point my wife had left, took the dogs.
Wow.
I was alone in my house, and literally was like, I'm going to lose everything.
Wow.
Or I have lost everything.
Right.
Really. Because at that point in time, like the only thing, you know, in this town is so hard because you can be so successful and still feel not successful at all.
Yep.
Because somebody always has something that you want.
Yeah.
That you don't, you know, and so I was just not seeing all the I was not grateful. I wasn't seeing all the things that I had. And one thing that my wife leaving did do was show me how much I really love her and how much I really wanted to regardless if I could even get her back or not.
Right.
It was just like I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure out what my issue is. You know, I called her and I pulled $5,000 out of our savings account and I said I'm gonna go to this outpatient rehab and I'm gonna figure out what this thing is. And so I did that, and as I did that, things slowly just started to get better.
Yeah.
She would come back. We'd have conversations. She never stayed. I had to be okay with that. And then before you know it, we were back together, kind of like when we got together in the first place. Like she moved into my apartment when we first started dating, and we didn't even know until 2 weeks later.
What?
We didn't even know. It was like 2 weeks later that we were like, oh, I guess you moved in, because like I had a storage unit across. I was living in the Gulch and I just signed my pub deal, and I had a storage unit across the hall, and I was like, it's like $70 a month. I'll just get that. And she's moving out of her place. She finished at Belmont, and I was like, you just want to? She's like, well, I just don't want to bring all my stuff back to my mom's, and I was like, well, I have a storage. You just throw it in there. Like I'm using it for my hockey equipment right now. Like there's lots of room in there. She threw it in there 2 weeks later. We're like, holy crap, did we move into?
Yeah, everything's in one spot.
Like, yeah, were we all here? You know? And so much like that, when things started to get better, she came home, and then, I mean, it wasn't a week after she came home, we got pregnant.
No way.
Yeah. And so for me, my biggest thing was like, when I try to control things is when I start getting in trouble.
Okay.
And it was like kind of buying this house. It was literally like, if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I have no control over it because I'm just a control freak.
Okay.
As much as I don't want to be.
Sure.
I love feeling like I'm in control and manipulating things. And I've learned to be a lot more spiritual. That's been the thing for me for recovery is I didn't have a spiritual side before.
Okay.
I had to try and take care of everything.
Yeah.
Make the pieces fall where they. And now I have a much more relaxed approach with life, which is just like, you know, if God wants me to, you know, do this or that, He's going to make that decision. It's going to be painfully, obviously, to me what I need to do.
Yeah.
And I just need to just show up and do it.
Absolutely. Are you ready to take your brand digital? At HitLab Creative, we don't just make content. We build your digital foundation from the ground up. So whether you're launching a podcast, creating scroll-stopping social media content, or building a website that actually converts, we connect all the dots. Visit hitlabstudio.com/studio-time and let's build something that lasts. Because the Hit Lab is where digital strategy meets data-driven content creation. The Michael movie's out right now. It's big. I hadn't seen it yet. My son saw it, said it was great. But when you go back to his last, the live footage of his rehearsals for the concert that never happened, the movie, you saw how in control he was. I think anybody that's great at anything and change, and that's known at that level, there's a certain level of obsession and
Yes.
and just and leadership that you have to have,
100%. And I can't wait to see that movie either. But uh, it's for me, it's not trying to control outcomes that I can't control.
Sure.
If I can show up every day and I can work on writing songs and I can and I've gotten very good at just continuing to do that. And I think that's relates to a big part of why I've been successful and how I'm even able to get a house on a self-employed income.
That's right.
So I think that there are things that you can control.
Yeah.
And it's just worrying about those.
That's right.
And letting everything else just fall where it's going to fall.
That's the way you got to do it, man.
Oh, it's hard, man.
Well, so your wife is a part of For the Record.
Yes.
Right? That's a brilliant name, by
Thank
the way.
you.
Like, yeah, it's
Thank
real.
you.
Like, literally,
We
explain the play on words right there, because like
we're
I
going
totally
for
get
the
it.
record. Yeah.
That's what a
And For the
publisher
Record.
does. It's get songs on the record, right?
Totally,
So
totally.
it's really good.
We started we always wanted to work together, and I had left my publishing deal my publishing deal. I mean, I think they would have just kept paying me to write songs until the end of time, but they were taking half of my publishing, and they weren't doing a whole lot, And I'm not mad at it. Like, I get that writers sort of need to be, take their own career in their hands and try and get into rooms and write those songs. I just felt that, like, I was in a place where, I'm very entrepreneurial, and always have been. And I think since I got sober, it's just like amplified times 10, because now I have so much time.
Tons of attention too.
And I've got time, and I've got, and I love helping other artists. It's literally one of my favorite things to do. And I just noticed that in today's world, the gatekeepers are gone, right? You can have,
that's right.
We were talking about social media before we got on here, and like the power that you actually have in your hands, to make something happen, that never used to be there. And so now you have you got more artists than you've ever had. Mm-hmm. You've got artists that don't even really want to be artists.
Yeah.
But they are, as a product of, like, well, I've got to sell something.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you have a ton of artists out there that are that need so much help in that, like, development. What's a great song? How do you cut that great song? Mm-hmm. And how do you release that song? And so my wife and I we've met all the songwriters. We know all the artists. We know we've been in this town for 15 years.
Yeah.
We just have a ton of relationships and a ton of songwriters what does a songwriter want? Somebody to record their song.
That's right. They want their song on the radio. They want to hear
And
the
so
song on the radio.
let's team up the right artist with the right song at the right time and see what happens, and put it out in the right way, and in a way where people can actually hear it, and you're actually getting streams. And it's more about making the great music than it is about finding whatever algorithm stream, whatever it is. My whole rule of thumb is, if you take a great artist and a great song and you put all that together and you do it well, somebody will find it.
That's right.
And when they do, the artist will win, not the label, not all these other things. Literally the artist. Like, we take 5% of a master record to, anytime we make a record. And then we give 5% to the songwriter, because the songwriter doesn't make any money on streaming. And so we just try to take care of people as we go along in this process. But at the end of the day, the artist is going to own the master. And when they own the master, they're going to get the check.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Dude, I want to put it in perspective for a minute, because, growing up as a kid, Dad owned a publishing company, so
Mm-hmm.
I get it. So, for instance, I have a video on my TikTok that's been watched just under 4 million times. That's a viral video of some sort, right? It's funny, because if that had happened, if that same video had achieved that in 2020, it would have amassed me at least 100,000 followers from one video. That video that has been watched just under 4 million times that came out a few months ago, I think it's netted maybe like 6,000 new followers. So the reason I'm saying that is because if, 25 to 30 years ago, if you
Yeah.
Well, all right. So if you had two number one hits and 6 top tens, you would have bought 5 homes like the one you just bought today.
100%.
And so basically, like, you're going for lightning in a bottle,
Right.
but that, when you achieved it once in the past, it could set you up for life. And now you still can't buy a house yet. You can't get
100%.
approved for funding.
I remember when I got that Luke Bryan cut, I literally was like, I went to an immigration lawyer and I said, is this enough to like get me a O1 or like some kind of visa that I could stay here and work? And, cause that was all like for being somebody who came from out of this country trying to get into it.
Yeah.
Like it was hard. Like a lot of people just like, oh, and I was like, no, it was hard. Literally. And what she told me was I said, well, she says, well, I don't know if like having a cut on a Luke Bryan record is enough to get you some citizenship. And I was like, well, what if it went number one? Like, what if he singled it, and it went number one? He's like,
what if George Jones could do it?
Right,
Would I get it?
She goes, well, number one would help, but it'd be better if you had 2 number ones. I was like, oh, cool, awesome. So I feel like no matter what you do, you're always searching, you're always going for more and for something else. And like, what a viral video does now isn't going to be what it does later.
No.
At all. And it's always going to be changing, right? So it's, you're constantly moving the target. I think, which is why like we just focus on using our expertise and knowledge to help artists get in a room that they wouldn't be able to get in if they didn't have our help, and write a great song. And those songwriters are more apt to do that now because one, they're going to get a piece of it. So if it does blow up, they're actually going to be able to make some money. And so it's just about finding different ways to like to get the reward thing to click. But man, it'd be better and then she told me, well, actually the best way to get into America is to, if you're here on your work visa and you happen to meet a nice young lady who has an American passport, that would be probably the easiest way. And I was like, so then I married V.
That's right.
No, I'm kidding. That's not the only reason I married her, but I did. That is the way that I got it. Like it wasn't through my career, which I've had amazing success in my career, and it was still difficult to get.
Absolutely, and we've met her, and that was. I feel like your wedding might have been like mine, where you're standing there. Your side is on this side, her side's on that side. And you can hear everybody on your side kind of mumble when she walks in. They're like, "How in the world
did he get? How did this bald, half-deaf, ADD Canadian get this girl?" Honestly, it blows my mind all the time. She's a beautiful person, beautiful woman.
Who were you when you met? What had you achieved at that time?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No. I mean, I think.
Did she know what she was getting into?
Here's what's great. She did. And I told, this is really funny. I just told this story recently because the guy that I called when I met V actually works in radio now for the team that we're hiring for 615 and for my next single in the States. So his name's John Lassard. And so how it happened is we met in Key West at the Songwriters Festival. That was apparently that's when we met, but I was drinking and I didn't remember it. But she had taken a picture of me and Chase Rice and John Lassard outside of a pool in Key West. And we're walking down the street. I'm walking down the street about 7 minutes later. I was supposed to go to this round to meet this other songwriter friend of mine. And I didn't make it to the round, and they were walking over to Losers as I was leaving Losers, and so we sort of met right there in the middle. I think it was like Soulshine. I don't even know if it's still
that's right.
There.
It's not, but it was.
It's not, but it was Soulshine.
Yeah, I don't think.
So they were there, and they were coming over here, and so we had met in the middle, and he was like, we get talking. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry I didn't make it, and he goes, oh, it's all good. Whatever. Do you know Victoria? And I was like, no, I don't believe I do. And she goes, actually, and I went, oh God. Because I knew, I was like, this is not going to end well. And I don't have to, like, back in my drinking days, I had to worry about those things. But she had said to me, she She said, well, actually, and I was like, oh no, I'm sorry. You know, I just immediately started apologizing like a good Canadian should. And 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 anyway, she says, well, no, I think I met you in Key West. And blah, blah. Well, then it was kind of like a movie. Like all the friends like went away, and we're just still talking. Like we just never stopped talking. And so at that time, I was at Warner Chapel. I believe that I had just I think I had the cut, or I was close to getting the cut. I don't know, but I was a songwriter, and she then went on in between that time to sell merch for Chase Rice. So she was on the road selling merch for Chase.
Got it.
So when that second time came around and I met her, I called John, and I was sober at this time.
Okay.
And I remember that because I took a little sober break in the middle of all this rigmarole of me finding out I'm an alcoholic. I had called John and I said, hey, who's Victoria? Or who's your merch girl? And he said, oh, Victoria. And I said, yeah. He said, oh, she's an angel. I said, yeah. Why is she out on the road with you guys?
Yeah.
Because, like, what's the deal? There's got to be something wrong with this girl.
Yeah.
If she's out there with you. He goes, no, she's the sweetest. She's the best. We love her. She's great, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So then we started dating, and somehow I was able to lock her down.
Yeah, just move her in.
Just move her in. Without even talking about it.
I love it.
Most people either buy a cheap watch or they think fine watches just aren't for them. It's almost like that world just wasn't made for them. Call sign watches live in a different conversation entirely. These are serious, precision-built American timepieces. But here's the thing that separates call sign from everything else at this level. They weren't made for collectors to lock in a display case and admire from a distance. They were made to be worn. On the wrist, in the field, in the cockpit, at the table, literally everywhere life actually happens. By pilots who need to know what time it is in 2 time zones without thinking twice. By veterans who've earned every call out that they ever got. By the guy whose crew gave him a nickname 20 years ago that never went away because it didn't need to. Here's what I want you to understand. A call sign isn't a title that you give yourself. It's the name you get when the people around you decide they know what you're made of. Every single one of us has had that moment. Most of us have a name that's even followed us out of it. Now, you've got a watch that proves it. What? You don't believe me? That's no problem. Head on over to mycallsign.com/Hitstreak.
I love it. So she was in the business a little bit too.
Yeah.
And now you guys
she
are
was in
doing
music.
stuff together.
She was on like music business at Belmont. But at that time, she was not a publisher. And she, one of the things, like when we first got together, she was like, well, she's like, she didn't really know what she wanted to do with her degree or if she even wanted to do anything with it. And I at the time, I was produced by Bart Butler, who produces John Party.
Yeah.
And Bart was a really, really close friend. He was actually the best man at our wedding. And Bart was the guy that I had started like making a record with and started like figuring that stuff out because I was looking for a producer. And he became my producer. And then so we would all hang out, us three. And she was like, loved the process of us trying to put together songs for a record, basically. And she totally agreed with everything that Bart was doing and Bart was saying. And of course, I'm an artist, so I was like, well, I don't know if I like that song as much. And they're like, no, you got to cut this song. It's great. And I was like, nah, I don't, doing all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she loved that. And then she slowly started to think about like, well, what do I want to do with this? And I just encouraged her. I was like, hey, look, if you like songs and you like songwriters,
Yeah.
I was like, you should look into publishing. This is what you should do. She goes, well, I don't even have a degree for that. And I was like, I don't have a degree to write songs.
That's right.
I just write them.
Yeah.
I just like writing them and I go and write them. I didn't go to school for this. That was a very hard concept for her to sort of learn, which is like, oh, I don't need a degree to do this. And I said, there's like 3 guys you need to go talk to, right? I said, just go talk to the best people in the industry that do this. And so, and
Great
Bart,
advice.
so then she literally like tracked down, what's his name there? Rusty Gaston, when he was at This Music. I said, you need to go talk to Rusty. And she goes, well, I said, just go knock on the door.
Yeah.
Tell him, like, hey, I just finished at Belmont. I want to get in publishing. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. What do I need to do? And he was so sweet. He's like, walk with me. And so they walked down, and he was walking to a meeting, and he was telling her, okay, do this, like all the things that she needed to do.
Yeah.
She got her first job at Song Factory, which is where Bart was published. And I mean, I think it was a job that she got like $400 a month for.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
It was nothing. And but she was in the game. She was in the game, and she still has relationships from those. Like Ashley McBride wrote there, and she's still friends with Ashley, and just like all of those things. And so I think like it's just about getting. I was like, you just got to get in there like a dirty shirt and be like, this is what I want to do. I'm just gonna figure out how to do it.
That's it.
And now she works at Jonas Group.
Wow.
And she publishes Red Akins and a bunch of big hit writers. Is pretty wild. So
that is wild,
awesome.
dude. Well, congratulations, V, man. Like
She's
doing the thing.
Honestly, she's probably the reason we were able to buy this house, to be honest.
Let's go.
I don't think it was all on my salary, so good for her.
That's right, baby.
So.
All right, Aaron. So as we sit today, it's May. I think it's May. I don't even know what month it is right now. But as people are listening to it today, I do know it's in June or later. I do know that, right? So we're in the middle of your busiest touring season. I guess Christmas is a busy holiday season is busy too. But
the summer touring is usually the craziest time for us.
It's pretty rigorous. I do want to shout out. I do know your drummer, Casey Todd.
Yes,
love Casey. Been knowing Casey forever.
Yeah, he loves you. I told him we were gonna do the I was like, I'm finally gonna sit down with Nick and do a podcast. So it's gonna be great. So.
Dude, he's so good.
So good.
And like he can sing and he can do everything.
So talented.
Yeah.
So talented. He does a dueling piano gig.
That's how I met him.
And he's my drummer.
I know. It's
Figure that
unbelievable.
out.
Yeah. And he can play every song on earth.
It's crazy.
Ever recorded.
It's crazy. He'll always send me videos when there's Canadians that want to hear Lonely Drum.
That's cool.
And he's like, yeah, so because I have to play it. And I was like, that's hilarious.
Well, I guess he knows it pretty dang good. Then,
he knows it pretty well.
Well, it's touring season. Talk to me about what you got. Obviously, you're going to be moving in the middle of all this stuff.
No good moving company.
Which is great. Well, there's I do know a couple moving companies. My boy Chris Knowles at True Friends is phenomenal.
Okay, great. Hook me up.
Dusty Black has Black Tie Moving.
Dusty Black. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, he's got Black Tie Moving. Those are my two guys here in town.
I definitely hook me up with that.
I got to say, Chris Knowles is the one we had nothing and couldn't afford to move. He got us moved. I will say that.
Wow.
Chris Knowles is an amazing human being.
Wow.
So you'll be moving. Call old Dusty or Chris, and then you're gonna be heading back out on the road. So
yes,
man, where's touring taking you this year?
We're going everywhere. So we have quite a few U.S. things that we're doing. A lot of 615 shows. And
I didn't think about that. You're doing both solo and okay.
Both. Yeah, I'm very lucky that if I'm double booked, I can usually figure it out. Like the nice thing about the 615, I mean, it's going to change because once we're on the radio, it's going to have to be us, But the nice thing about the 615 thing is anything that I've had to sub out, I can just sub out and go play one of my shows or whatever. So that's been really great. But we've got quite a few things up in Canada that we're doing this year. I'm actually going to Switzerland for 5 or 6 shows, and then Italy as well.
Dang, dude, let's go. World tour.
Yeah. They love to line dance out there.
It's a legit world tour.
It's a world tour.
It is a world tour.
It's a world tour. So
Aaron, I don't think people understand how big the market of country music is in Canada. Like, it's its own separate charts.
100%.
Its own thing. Like,
totally.
It's big.
There's artists that I grew up listening to that nobody in the U.S. has ever heard of.
And they're massive.
Sold
millions and millions and millions of records.
So the guy who got me going in Canada was a guy named Johnny Reed.
Okay.
And you mentioned his name down here, nobody knows him. But yet he owns I would say like a $4 or $5 million property out here in Leapers Fork, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's where all the money's going.
Yeah, and he's got a big barn out there. He is such a talented guy, and he just crushes up in Canada. Like when I first toured, I did a 35 date tour across Canada with Johnny Reed. I played 3 songs, and I was on the bus. I played 3 songs a night.
Yep.
He would sell out Edmonton 3 nights in a row.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
So he's just massive, and
Yep.
nobody here like would even know. It's
crazy,
so
dude.
crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys that I grew up listening to like that just for whatever reason didn't break in the U.S. And there's a few that broke in the U.S. and then went up there. Like Dean Brody had a single up here or down here in the U.S. called Brothers. So a lot of people love. Nobody knows this, but he's probably on album number 12 up there.
What? I
Yes.
didn't know that either.
And has had so many more number ones than I have. It's crazy.
Okay.
So it's a pretty amazing. For me, it's an amazing thing. I love where I'm from, and I love being Canadian and waving the Canadian flag. It's been nothing but amazing to me, and so it's so awesome to be able to still get played on the radio, go tour up there. You know, we've got a tour come up in the fall that we're gonna do. That is like we're just adding dates now, and it's. I've been so lucky. Like I'm one of the artists that people still want to buy tickets to see. And every time I put out an album, we do a little tour and we'll do 10 or 12 dates, and it's just been so great. So
I think one of the biggest things that as a fan that fans would want to know that nobody's really ever just the elephant in the room addressed it. In the past, you could buy your favorite artist record and support them.
yes,
It don't really. I don't know how much. I mean, we could. When you're done with that water, whatever the drips are left in there, that's probably what them buying that album would get you.
100%.
So they got to get the record, and they got to play the hell out of it. But more importantly, they got to go see you live. They got to catch you live.
Yeah,
that's where the
it's-
majority of you guys are making your living now, right? Is on the road.
It's the live is the biggest, is definitely the best way to help us. Help artists in general make money, and there's all this stuff going on right now, and I don't know what they'll be saying in a month from now, but the stuff that's happening right now is like just this, what do they call it, the red seat something or whatever, or the blue seat thing. I can't remember what it is, but all the empty seats, because a lot of people, like for one, like big massive artists like are going on tour together, and now the tickets are $500-$600.
That's gotten crazy, dude.
It's gotten it's out of hand. Like there's just got to be a better way to do it.
You
know?
can go spend 4 days. Like Disney's out of hand, and we were. Bruno was in town, and I know that for me to take my family to Bruno, we could have gone to Disney for a day and a half, a whole day and a half versus one concert. Those were not. I mean, I'm not even talking like really good seats at Bruno.
No.
And Bruno, I ain't hating on Bruno. I love Bruno, but like it's that way.
It's not the artist.
I
It's
think
not the art.
it would have been $2,000 to
everybody
take my
loves
family.
$2,000
$2,000 to take my family to the Eagles the other night. Like, I
A
would
lot of
have.
money. Yeah,
But it's just so many people can't.
yeah, and it's just hard because like you're like the this is why I always encourage and like listen. I understand that like everybody wants to go see the Morgan Wallens and the Luke Combs and those guys and they put on great shows. Like
Yeah.
they're great shows. Everybody sings. It's amazing, but it's like it's the other thing to like remember is like your local guys that are ripping around. I mean, I just saw a video this morning from one of my buddies, like David Adam Burns, who's like down there in Texas somewhere, and he's like, he was talking about it, and he's like, it just reminds me, go support your local guy who's $20 a night.
Yep.
In a lot of ways, it's just as good.
True. True.
And
What's the same thing minus production?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and I get it. Like I went to Riley Green recently. I haven't gone to a concert forever, which sounds I'm put on a lot of concerts, but I don't go to them always. And I went to this one because I had friends that had box seats, and I was like, oh, I think I could handle a box seat,
Yeah.
I just like me buying a ticket to go sit in this is just like it's just something I just don't have a lot of energy for.
Yeah.
And I went and watched that show, and it was sold out at Bridgestone. I don't even know what the tickets were. And it's just like it's just a big production of a really simple guy, simple show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, and like I said, I don't know what those tickets were, but it was like a lot of times, like I'm sitting with friends of mine, and they're like, "You put on a bigger show than he puts on."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just a more energetic thing. I'm not, and I don't like, by no means everybody said Riley Green's great. Like, he writes all his own songs. That's awesome.
Phenomenal
He's
artist,
got a
yeah.
ton of fans that know that music. I think if I would have known the music more, I would have enjoyed it more. You know, it's one of those things. But it's just a reminder, like, to go and find some people that you really enjoy listening to. I had a guy one time come up to me. I was doing this show in Maryland. It was right about the time when Zach Bryan started crushing, and he came up to the stage. He goes, "Man, you got to play a Zach Bryan song." And I said, I don't know a Zach Bryan song." He goes, How do you not know Zach Bryan?" And I was like, "How do you know Zach Bryan?"
Yeah.
And he sat back and he thought about it for a bit. And he said, "Well, because all my friends listen to it." I said, "Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't be a follower. Go find some music that you love. Share it with somebody."
Man, that's a great point.
That's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like a lot of, and there's so much great music out there that can be found. I find stuff daily that I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is so cool. And one of the coolest things about, like, for the record business is, like, we get artists all the time that are like, "Man, I love this guy." And I was like, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
And then I go listen to it and I was like, "Oh my God, this
Yeah.
is fantastic." And I think so it's about finding those little pockets and finding people that you like, and then being a part of that as they grow as artists.
You ready to transform your business and unlock new revenue streams? At Processing First, we empower our partners with cutting-edge payment solutions and unparalleled support. By leveraging our extensive network of banking partners, we match you with the ideal bank to ensure that you receive the most competitive rates and deliver an exceptional experience for both you and your customers. Visit processingfirst.com to learn more and join our growing community of successful partners.
As a dad that has a son that is just obsessed with music, at being a musician and all those things, it's so cool. You know, first of all, if he wasn't doing a talent show at school today, he'd be here as we're sitting here today.
I love that.
You better
He's
believe
doing a
it.
talent show?
He literally is. They just announced it late, and I was like, "Well, man," I was like, "Dude, we got Aaron booked." He was like, "Dad, you got to go do that." I get it. I was like, "Well, videotape it. I'll catch it." He's doing the drums in his talent show, but he would have been here because it's so cool. As a dad, it's great getting him to take to an Eagles or a Bruno or somebody like that, but also when we can be like, "Hey man, we're going to see Aaron Goodvin," he reacts the same when we're going to hear you at Whiskey Bent downtown versus or Bridgestone. Right. It doesn't matter. It's like, we're going to see Aaron Goodvin, That's awesome. And actually when we go see you in the smaller venue, we can actually
you get to see it and be a part of it. Yeah, and I mean that would be like what I would encourage people to do. And as far as my music goes, like I love that I walked in here today, excuse me, and like my music was playing is like that. As an artist, that's the coolest thing ever, because that's the hard work and sweat that, and stuff that goes into all of that doesn't always get the recognition that maybe it should.
That's right. That's right. And it's just, fame is different than it was.
It's so different.
It changed over the last.
And I feel like kids these days, and I talk about this a lot, but I feel like kids these days, they don't care who's singing it.
Okay.
Do they?
Like
if they hear something that they like, they
get tied to the song, not the artist as much. You're right.
Right. They're not as and it's because there's so much music out there.
There's so much there's so
many. The amount of like the conversations that I have to have is like, we have to find a song that's gonna beat the other 10,000 songs that are coming out that day.
That's right. Damn.
We have to write a song that's gonna beat that.
That's exactly right.
And that's a hard thing to comprehend.
I have a 5-year-old daughter, and like she'll come home singing this song, and I'm like, "What is that?" And we'll and I'll look it up, and I'm like, "Dude, this is huge." Like there's in the world of kids,
you don't even know about it.
There's I don't even know. I think it's K-pop is what it's called.
Yeah.
And
totally.
like I'm so old right now.
My sister's kids are into that stuff. What'd you say?
I said I feel so old right now. I'm like,
I think it's K-pop.
Yeah.
K-pop. That's
but there's like literally, it's so she comes home and she's like, I want to hear. She says, Alexa, play so and so by Demon Hunters. We're like, Demon Hunters? What in the hell's that?
Demon Hunter. That
And it
sounds like,
turns out it's K-pop.
Yeah.
And it's a cartoon.
yep.
And it's animated. And you hear the song. It's like, well, dang, that's catchy as hell. You know, like
So yeah,
It's
and I mean, like my sister's kids are into that. Like my little nieces love that stuff. Like,
but
love that stuff.
it's massive, and I wasn't even
So
aware it
huge. Don't even know about
existed.
it. I know.
I like to think I'm on the pulse of
Right.
everything, and it's
Dude, it's so true, and it's just like so many more artists. Like there's pros and cons. Like there's good things about the way music is being consumed these days, and there's bad things. The bad thing is there's so much of it. It's just hard to cut through.
Yeah.
The good thing is that if you do good work,
Yeah.
it's out there and
Yeah.
it can get found. I mean, the times that I say like there's still people finding out who I am today that have never heard of me before. That's all just came from some algorithmic thing
Yeah.
that they just heard it and they were like, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do. Like if you're a fan of music,
Yeah.
you gotta choose the stuff that you like, and then you gotta support the stuff that you like.
That's right.
So that we can all make a living. You know.
As a fan, who's your Mount Rushmore of artists, and who's your Mount Rushmore of songwriters?
Oh man, artists. I'd probably go. So I grew up in the '90s country, and I find myself like really going back to that. Tracy Byrd was my favorite.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Love Tracy Byrd.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm from the country and I like it that way. Just love that stuff. Tracy Byrd was one of my faves. As I grew up, it kind of like went all over the place. Huge McGraw fan.
Yeah.
Cut great songs his whole career. George Strait
Yeah, baby.
probably is on
King
that.
George.
King George. And then probably Eric Church.
Okay.
Probably Eric Church, and probably Stapleton too.
Yeah.
I love Stapleton not because I sit there and listen to it over, or like Eric Church because I sit there and listen to it over and over again. That's
Yeah.
not really it. For me, it's just the artistry and the like. I'm just gonna do what I do,
Yeah, man.
which I
Yeah,
love.
man.
And then songwriters. We were talking about him earlier. Bobby Pinson, is one of my favorites.
He's one of the best
He's a genius.
when you just have a conversation with him, he's going to have 5 things that you remember forever.
Yeah, I remember like learning so much. Like when I started writing songs, I learned so much from him.
Mm-hmm.
He heard this guy. Like only geniuses do this. Like I can write songs.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm a genius, and here's why. Because I came out of a van with Bobby Pinson one time. We were like down in Florida, and I came out of the van, and the guy across the way said something, and the way that he said it and the melody
Yeah.
that he said what he said, which I didn't even hear a melody.
Yeah.
Bobby looks at me and goes, eyes coming out of his head.
Yeah.
He goes, he doesn't even realize what he just did.
Yeah.
And I was like, neither do I. I don't know what you're talking about.
What did he do? Tell me.
I don't know what you're, and he goes, and he said it back to me, and the way he said it back, I was like, how did you how did you even like we're at a Costco and you heard this guy say something and like he's just a genius. Like he heard it and he just puts it in his phone. And
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? Like, I thought I wrote songs. This guy writes songs. Like,
He was telling me how, back in the day, now they've got their phones, they can do that. But he was like, back in the day, I used to carry a piece of paper and a pen with me everywhere because I'd be like riding in my car on my motorcycle. I'd have to pull over and write it down
Yep.
or I'd forget. He's
Yeah.
like, now I can just pull over and speak.
It's
leave a little
I
voice
mean,
note.
where we're at these days is so and then you tie that into the Suno stuff, and that is just changing the game.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's helping you figure out things before you even figure them out.
Yeah.
And it's wild. But as far as other songs, Brett James was one of my favorites. I never got to write with him, and sadly he passed away in a plane
Yeah.
crash, and
Just recently. Yeah.
just recently. And that was one that was always a bucket list write for me.
Mm.
And I probably emailed a bunch of songwriters that I had no business feeling. Probably shouldn't even know their email address. But and was just like, hey, I really want to write with you. And because like that was one that I thought I was going to be able to get in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wasn't able to. He was one of my favorites. Still is one of my favorites.
Danny Myrick's been on the show. Danny Myrick's been here.
Danny.
Yep, Danny's great.
Written a bunch of songs with Danny. He's
I got demos in my phone of Danny you've never heard of from the 90s right now.
Oh,
right,
I love it.
Right now.
Dude, I love it.
Before you leave, I'll play you one. Yeah.
Dude, do it.
Do you know the range that guy has? Like, seriously.
He's incredible.
He's sang,
so
my dad used him on an album for AAA where they recut a Beach Boys song, and Danny sang every part of the Beach Boys, and it's unbelievable.
He's so talented. There's
Yeah.
so many talented people. I love Danny. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that are on there. Tom Douglas.
Okay. Yep. Know that
For
name.
sure. Unbelievable.
Do those guys have it best because they can still go out to the restaurant and eat and not get disturbed, like versus? being
Well,
the
if they
same?
don't want to be disturbed, if I walk in a restaurant and somebody goes, "That's Aaron Goodvin," I'm the most excited guy in the whole place.
Yeah.
Somebody knew who I was, so I'm probably not the guy to ask. My band always makes fun of me either. We'll go into a restaurant in Canada and I'll be like, "So, do you like country music? You ever heard of Lonely Joe?" And they all make fun of me. And as soon as I say that line, they're like, "Oh God, here we go."
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Why would somebody else promote you if you won't?
right. And on top of it, like it's not like it always comes out of nowhere. Like sometimes I'm joking and it comes out of nowhere, but there's times where people will, like they're looking at me. Like it's obvious that they recognize, and I'm just trying to make it less awkward by being like, "Yes, I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you. Have a great day." As opposed to this, and then they're whispering, and I hate all that stuff. Just come say hi,
I have a question from Ethan that I just remembered to ask, and he actually asked me this a while back, and so again, I told you, Lonely Drum. I've heard it because we've binged it. All right, because it's just it's
a jam.
When the chorus comes in, it hits. It just hits. And as a drummer, I love the fact that it's about drums and there's drums all in it, and like it's just such a cool groove.
I love it.
So, but there's Lonely Drum, and then there's the 2.0.
Oh yeah,
Dude, we play them side by side all the time. 2.0 is the one we always lean on.
That's cool.
What's the biggest difference
That's
between
so wild
the
that
original
because
and 2.0?
usually it's the original that people love. So that's interesting that you guys like 2.0. The only reason we cut 2.0 is because we singled it in the U.S. on radio, and we did get a few stations to get behind it, and Bobby Bones got on it behind it. It just never happened for whatever reason. But we did Lonely Drum 2.0 because the label wanted like a signature lick on the front of it. So we had
that's right.
So it has the right, just to make it a little more identifiable. The original version was the one that played in. My wife's calling me. She's probably so excited about the house. She's probably ordered everything. We're gonna get 75 Amazon boxes when we get home. But no, the reason we did that was so the label could own that version of it.
Gotcha.
Because when a label puts the money behind the record to make the record go, they want to own that.
Yeah.
That version. So but a lot of that stuff is the original stuff on it.
Yep.
So it's just kind of a newer version.
A slightly different arrangement.
Slightly different. It's got a little lead lick and a couple of, and that was also
I hear it now that you say
because
that.
we had played it like 9 million times at this point. Because it had already been a massive hit in Canada. And so when we went into the thing that we added on the second one was and put your left foot in.
That's
when
right.
it says because we'd play live and we would do that live. It was like, oh, we should add that.
The hokey pokey.
So,
Right. That's right. Well, dude, now that you say that, I totally hear it. But it's such a great mix that like we didn't even pick up on the fact that lick wasn't there.
Right.
And I'm serious. If I've told you I've listened to it one time, it's been at least 1,000.
Well, I
times.
can't thank you enough.
I know you've made about half a penny.
You have helped me buy a new house. So I appreciate
He's
you.
almost got the second half of that soda in the soda machine, Jensen.
Finding the right health plan can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Backed by over 12 years of experience and more than 20 national and local awards, Team Hyder is here to help you navigate your options and choose a plan that fits your family's needs and your budget. Visit teamhyder.com today to schedule your consultation and get the coverage that you deserve.
So, well, all right.
love
I
it,
got to
man.
get you out of here as we're rounding
It's been
the
so
corner.
fun. Thank you for having me.
Dude,
So
absolutely, man.
fun.
It's been great catching up with you. Congratulations on everything, folks. Well, before I forget, if you hadn't followed him on social, it's at Aaron J. Goodvin. Check him out on all of his social platforms and on at aarongoodvin.com on the web. You can check out everything.
Yes.
Obviously on anywhere you can stream a song or download a song. The EP Drinking Hands Out. Said No Redneck Ever is the single that's out right now. And everybody's probably thinking, man, I got to go check out this Lonely Drum. Which one should I listen to first, the original or the 2.0? Is there like a Star Wars type order with it?
I mean, honestly, I own the original one.
Okay, so the original one then.
So go listen to that one.
All right, that's the Ethan. That's the one we'll be playing drums to from now on.
Exactly, do it. Yeah, the original it's also the one that's like streamed the most.
Yeah.
So if you look us up and you see Lonely Drum in the first, it's a picture of my face that's really close.
That's right. That's right. All right, so we mentioned that you might play us a little something. Do we have? What are we thinking here? What are we thinking?
I don't know. We've talked about so many different things and so many different songs. I guess I could. The thing that we didn't talk about that for some reason I feel like I want to play was the title track of the record is called "Drink in Hand," and it's about recovery.
Okay. Dude, tell me. Well, you got a story about that?
Yeah,
Well,
so
bring it.
it was a title that I
perfect setup.
Yeah, it was a title that I had in my phone, and because like for me, like I am the type of drinker that just always has to be drinking something. So I've always got like a coffee or a water or whatever. I'm
Same.
always doing this, and so I thought it would be cool to go in and write a song about my drinking hand and how I'm not drinking in my drinking hand.
You had to put something in there. That hand holds something.
So exactly. So when I went in and the song just came out super honest. I wrote it with Andrew Capra and Mary Cutter, and it's honestly a song that I've thought about like releasing as a single, just because I think that there's a lot of people like whenever I play this song live, people go, they're like, oh man, I got an uncle who's an alcoholic. All right, like there's some story
Yeah.
that I get out of it, and I just love that because I think it does the right thing. you know?
Yeah.
It does the thing where it's like, hey, it makes it okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's all recovery really is
Absolutely.
is sharing your story. I mean, I got on a phone call with a house lender the other day about how I'm an alcoholic and how I don't have control, and he's like, "Are you doing okay? Are you stressed out about this whole process?" And I was like, "No, not at all." I was like, "If this happens, it's gonna be great." And he goes, "How did you get that way of thinking?" And I was like, "Well, I'm an alcoholic, and
Yeah.
I know if I try to control this, I'm going to go crazy. So I just have to let it all go." And
Doesn't it feel
all
good?
worked out.
Doesn't it feel good to say it though? Like, because that's when you've got it under
100%.
control. When
I
you
love
face it. When
Yes,
you face it.
Yes, I love it. And and it's I just feel like I don't hide anything about who I am anymore. And I'm okay with who I am.
Well, dude, that's probably the coolest thing about you, especially just like even just sitting here hanging out with you on this show right here. That's what I think. That's what that's what the internet needs the most of, Aaron, is the fact that when you go see your show, it's like, dude, it's wild. It's wild.
It's the same thing.
You're so just comfortable and
Yes,
funny, and
it's the same thing.
But it's extremely good. But it's almost like it's so lighthearted.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling. It's a good vibe, dude. And I think that's probably what the internet is missing the most.
Yeah.
Of you is just that
I agree.
candid banter. Because you're so
I agree,
good at
and
it.
we're trying to do more of that. And I think, like, honestly, like I as far as socials go, like I feel like I'm still learning how to do it all.
Yeah.
And just like we have a social media team that like posts on my behalf, which helps me so much because I'm just by nature a very busy guy, and so I love that now we're starting to do more of this, and we'll be able to get some clips from the show.
Oh,
and
heck
use
yeah,
it
dude.
online,
Some
which
good
will
ones, too.
Yeah, it'll be
Absolutely.
So good. Yeah, so I love it.
Well, dude, I think that's great. Drink in Hand is the song that you're gonna play
I'll
for
play
us a
that
little
one
bit
for
of.
you.
That's fantastic. We're going to take a second and just kind of set that up real quick, and Aaron Goodvin is going to be performing the title track from the new album.
Let's do it.
It's Drink. The title track from the new album, Drink in Hand, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
that's perfect. Awesome. Well, we'll get that rocking and rolling. So buckle up, folks, and enjoy.
I told you I could stop anytime I want. Thought I was in control, but I couldn't get enough. What started off as fun, it started changing the man. Every time I put a drink in my drinking hand, I had to change my future by dealing with my past, taking one day at a time. Now that I know what I am, tuck it in my bottle, the beggar I can stand. Every time I put a drink in my drinking hand, I get to keep my arms around you, baby. It blows my mind how you love me every day. And through the hell I put you through, you with me. Without a doubt, the next step would kill me, just like it would if I had to watch you walk away. And I won't have to, like I almost did the last time I put that devil's magic on my lips. Lord, with a need, he won't stand a chance, long as I can keep him drinking from my drinking hand. I get to keep my arms around you, baby. It blows my mind how you love me every day. And through the hell I put you through, you're with me. Without a doubt, the next step would kill me, just like it would if I had to watch you walk away. I got 4 years down and a lifetime to go. I might not ever get that high, but I won't ever get as low. It don't feel right when it's empty, but my maker's got a plan for me. In my drinking hand, drinking hand, my drinking hand.
Wow.
Woo!
Man,
I got
dude.
an itchy nose right in the middle of that. I tried to scratch it right in the middle.
That reminds me of a song that my dad had in the demo stash back in the day called "I Got an Itch That I Got to Scratch."
Oh, I like that.
True story,
funny.
dude. That was wow. Holy cow, man!
Thank you, buddy.
You have a knack for making like choruses that you just can't get out of your head.
Just smack them.
That's it, dude.
Well, I appreciate that.
That was
Thank you.
walk me through the. You told me the background to that song.
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through. There you go. Thank you. Walk me through, like as you're actually writing it. How long did it take? Because I mean, was it an easy write? Was it a hard write?
Oh,
This is
it's
something-
so easy.
Okay.
My favorite writes are just like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm like ADD and I don't sit still very well. So I think like for me, it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe.
Okay.
And especially like I already had that title in my phone, and then I started playing that guitar thing. And once we knew what that was, it was like it wasn't very hard to write.
Gotcha.
It was, and I think like, and I always say like Lonely Drum. Like my favorite part about Lonely Drum is like I knew how to write that song. Like it's almost like I wrote it before we even wrote it.
Okay.
Because it's like I spent years like I had no game. Like the fact that I'm married with a child is crazy. No game whatsoever. None. Because like I sort of took on this persona of like the drunk songwriter guy that just could not get a girl to come over or date her. Like, but I didn't date for many years when I was in Nashville because I didn't even get into that, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was like, I was really good at getting girls not to come over, and that's how I was able to write that song in 45 minutes. I mean, it was literally 45 minutes. And so for that song too, it's sort of the same thing. Like I knew all the things I needed to put in it. I didn't really know where they went yet, but I knew that it was like, and then you get in the room with a couple other people, and then they encourage you to keep lines and throw other lines away.
Yeah.
And so it was not a long co-write by any means. I mean, it's like one of those things where we were doing the work tape. You know, I might have been out of there in 2.5 hours because we did a work tape with drums and I played it and sang it, but it was very quick. And it was very like as soon as and I was ready to talk about recovery at that moment. You know, like it was just the right timing. You know, and it's almost like you already know how to write the song. It's just you need that right groove and the right title to go with it. And Lonely Drum was that 100%. Like I knew how to. Like as soon as we had that, and the funny story about that, just to wrap up, Cat Gravitt and Skip Black is who I wrote Lonely Drum with. Cat, we had written a song before we started writing Lonely Drum, and the song was called "Trying to Forget You."
Okay.
It was kind of like a rip your hair out 80s ballad, like "Trying to forget you, I never met a pain like this." It was just like this big thing like that.
Yeah.
And Cat said, "Man, I love this song because it just beats on that Lonely Drum."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "What did you say?"
Wow.
It says it beats on that Lonely Drum. And I was like, I want to write that. And I just, I'm beating on my lonely drum. Girl, don't you want to come over? Literally just
like that.
Just like that.
That's
and then
incredible.
The rest was like, just like Skip was throwing in crazy lyrics. And we literally wrote that song in 45 minutes.
Wow.
I remember when we finished the course, we were like, are we done?
Yeah.
Is the course over? Like, because that's literally what we thought.
Yeah.
And it just felt right, and we just went with it. So.
It's incredible. Well, dude, the symbolic behind the title track you just performed for us is just, you know, at the end of the day, those vices become voids that you do have to fill them with something.
100%.
And it's almost like the quicker you can do that, the better chances you have.
Yeah, now I just drink brown gravy.
That's right, baby. That's right, baby.
Sorry, I had to throw a joke in.
Well, if you can find you some poutine in your life, that and Timmy Hortons, baby.
Timmy Ho's, they got them here in Tennessee.
They do now.
And I will say, pretty dang authentic. Like,
yeah.
I went to Tim Hortons a couple weeks ago. There's one right by my mother-in-law's house in Donaldson, and I went there and I was like I was kind of blown away. I was like, this is
the best
this
coffee.
is legit.
Yeah.
Exactly like Tim Hortons in Canada.
It's such good coffee.
Like when I go home to Canada, like I'm a large dark roast. I got a large dark roast here, and I was like, I couldn't tell the difference.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah. So.
Well, Aaron, again, I can't thank you again enough for the hang today.
So fun.
Open invitation to come back.
Absolutely.
When you guys do the next great thing, congratulations again on the home, dude. That's
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Man.
I gotta go figure that out.
That's right. We got to get you over there.
I gotta get over there.
We got to get you to call your
I
wife
go
back
drive
too.
by.
Check him out all summer long. Aaron Goodvin's going to be on the road as well as with 615 Collective.
Yes, if you go to the website, you can see which shows are which. We
got to catch
put
both.
a little star beside the 615 shows. Come see us live. That's the best.
That's the best.
Best way to experience what it is that we do and I do. And we just love being out there, and so we just want to do more and more and more of it all the time.
And if you and he's not an act that once you've seen it. You got to keep going because
it's never the same show
time.
twice.
That's right. That's
just
right.
ask my wife.
That's right. Well,
just to deal with this every day.
Every day.
Poor girl.
Every day.
Poor
Well,
girl.
once again, folks, on all socials at Aaron J. Goodvin, on the World Wide Web, as we used to call it, at aarongoodvin.com. It's where you can keep up with everything.
Absolutely.
Aaron, congratulations on everything, baby.
Thank you, man. Can't
dude,
thank you
You've done
enough
great
for-
things, but you just everything seems to be hitting right now.
It just keeps going in the right direction. So
That's
I'm
right.
gonna try to keep it on the rails.
Well, thanks again for the time today, baby.
Thank you, buddy. Love you.
Appreciate you.
Cheers.
Once again, a big shout out to the man himself, Aaron Goodvin, for being in the building. Folks, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of The Hit Streak. I'm your man, Nick Hyder. God bless. Hi, folks. I'm your man, Nick Hyder, and I just want to say a quick thank you for all of you, the millions of you tuning into The Hit Streak. We're literally getting the information from the people that have it to the people that need it by bringing on guests that everybody knows and some that not everybody knows yet. Keep listening, keep sharing, and keep leveling up with The Hit Streak.